This video is a continuation from the previous, and I'm starting to lose my voice from recording videos for the last few days. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the Salvador Dali Museum in St. Petersburg, Florida. And it's a beautiful building. It's really cool. But this is a terrible shot of it. And by the way, all these shots were taken on my phone. Okay? Just the basic, simple camera app on my phone. Now that is a better shot. Okay? And let's talk about why. I kind of got some foreground stuff here, but it's in shadow. The subject matter is that dolphin sculpture and not the building. I've got this ugly building over here. It's not balanced. It's just, eh. Here, I got rid of the ugly building back here. I've got a very cool bench. That's a bench sculpture foreground that relates to the art inside the museum. And this needs to be cropped out right here, but otherwise this is pretty cool. I got a path going to the building, got this cool bench, got this cool building in the background. I think maybe could have played around with my focal point and made it the clock face and let the background be just a little bit blurry, and that would have made it better. And then a little bit of processing would have helped this because it's still a little flat. The sun had gone in, so when you're outside, you lose your shadows when the sun is behind the clouds. This is inside the building. So I'm now inside this blob right here on the second floor. There's a second story right here, and I'm shooting that way, towards that story right there. And it had just got done raining, so this is really cool. It's just a lot of lines leading you around the building. It's just kind of black and white, even though it's not. It's just very muted grays, and I would process this to play around with some of this color because there's a little bit of red here. But it's still a pretty good shot of an interior image because you can see outside. You can see this really cool window. You can see the silhouette of the windows. And then this is just some of the art inside the museum, which I will scroll through quickly. They let you take pictures, and so I did. This is one of my favorite artists. And if you guys take me for any other classes where you have to look at art, you'll see a lot of Salvador Dali. When I was in your position, there were no PCs. I'm old. We did everything by hand, and we studied paintings a lot. And so I still like to look at paintings because it is part of design history, to talk about design. And Salvador Dali was one of my favorites. And his work in person is a billion times better than any image I could possibly show you. So these were just... I'm just going to go through these. There's another shot out the window. I really like this one. Interior shot, looking out the window. I've got stairs. I've got these, series of levels. The architecture itself is sculptural, so it becomes the subject matter. There's the... Oh, by the way, that the little painting that looks like a little painting earlier is massive. It's probably 13 feet tall. 10 feet, 12, 13 feet. I like this one, okay? It does show the architecture of the building. It's got, it shows it's a museum. You don't know what's around the corner, so there's a little bit of mystery. There's a woman looking at the art. She's listening to what's going on. It kind of tells a story. Blending, he's dead, right? He's gone. He's long gone. And he's still alive through his story. And so I always like pictures like this because of the fact that they connect our past to our present. This is the Dale Chihuly Museum. And I don't know if there's anything in here I want to show you guys. I was just debating, isn't that beautiful? I also have a thing for glass. I love that. He's a Seattle-based artist who does these organic, gigantic blown glass sculptures. And these things were massive. They're probably like 4 feet. And all this stuff is really massive. I should see if there's. I thought there was some stuff in here in the museum itself to show you, because this isn't architecture. It's just. It's kind of cool. Okay, so this is showing the architecture. It's kind of showing this raw structure, and then this glass hanging there, and this blue door back here, and there's someone standing in the doorway. I wish I had tilted my phone just a little bit to get the door straighter. And then I would crop that light at the top out, clean some of this up maybe. But it kind of makes an interesting story, makes an interesting photo. You got a nice diagonal split, balance. Who is that? What do they want? See, not good without that person in the silhouette there. This is cool. They use the glass on the ceiling, so there's a piece of glass across here, and the light filters through the blown glass and creates these interesting shapes on the wall. Just some close up. All this was with my phone, by the way. It's more of his artwork. I like this one because it's again it's a photo of a museum. This is architecture. I would probably get rid of that exit sign and maybe those lights up there. I don't know. The lights might be okay. You might need that for balance. But I've got the sculpture on the wall, and in the background there are people in silhouette and lit artwork that's kind of out of focus, and it gives a great sense of depth. Got foreground objects, got subjects, got something happening over here. It's a little mysterious. So actually, makes a pretty good shot. That would be great for a brochure for the museum. And then again, there's another one. You've got this great chandelier, second chandelier. The museum's opening over here. You got a person looking. So that would be a pretty cool shot for the museum for their advertisement. It just doesn't work without people in it. And I could give you hours of stories on Dale Chihuly, but I won't. It's more of his work. I want to get to this other. Sorry, I'm going to click through this quickly. I took a lot of shots, and that's what you got to do. Well, hang on. There we go. Okay, so this is the Museum of Glass. And there's some images in here that I want to show you guys that are interior architecture. Look at all these little cubby holes. There they put the glass in the cubby holes. That's architecture. They did all that with drywall. It kind of creates this really cool montage of objects in a single wall. I know there's more in here. There's some I did with the architecture. Some really cool architecture in the building. These are cool. So normally I would stop this. Here we go. But I thought, you know, quick little tour through the glass. Building, right, a white museum and all these pedestals. And so I have something in my foreground, something in my middle ground, stuff in my background, and it's an interior shot of the architecture. Played around with it, actually got closer to it. I tried not to break anything. Fortunately, I was successful. Okay, so This was a piece of glass sculpture, and this probably goes under reflections, but it's a reflection of the building. So you can sometimes take photos of architecture as reflections. All of these. This is looking through it, actually, so it distorted and warped it and bent it and just made it art. It's art made of art. Yeah, so it's just, you can see the building through the artwork. I just got close enough to it without knocking it over. Shot through it with my phone, and you can see through the artwork, and because it's glass, it fractured it. And it made this really interesting, cool, abstract interior architecture shot. And that's what all these are. And that's cool. Same thing. Got really close to the artwork and shot through it. And then a shot of the museum itself. Diagonal, just like my exterior shots, my interior shots show this room into this room into this room. A bunch of glass Buddha heads. It's the end, I thought. And again, more shooting through the glass. Create some pretty cool stuff. Okay, and then that's it for that. And let's continue in the next video.